Welcome to Pitch, guys. Bark, bark, ruff, ruff, meow, meow, ork, ork.
What Al's trying to say is this episode is all about pets, humanity's furry friends, what we love, and maybe some of the things that we would change about it.
Yeah. We all have a variety of different experiences with a variety of different kinds of animals, so we thought we'd share some ideas with you about pet ownership.
And although your golden Labrador might really enjoy this episode, it's not really appropriate for your human pets, namely your children. And by no means, I just want to start out by saying, guys, that just because I did the sound of a seal in our intro doesn't mean that I have a pet seal.
You did the sound of a seal?
That's what that was.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure.
Ork, ork. What did you think?
I thought it was a penguin.
Seals don't say
actually.
ork ork, do they?
Well, that's the sound.
Arf, arf.
I don't know.
It's ork, ork.
We'll have to look it up and insert
Okay,
a
well,
sound
my
effect later.
seals, if I had a seal, it
If a
would
seal
definitely
was-
say ork, ork.
A seal.
You're cussing more.
Maybe a
without-
seal who's choking.
Yeah. So I thought we might start by talking a little bit about our own personal experiences with pets and our
perfect.
credentials so that we can prove to our audience out there that we deserve to be actually talking
Oh,
about
I love
this topic.
proving myself.
Exactly. So, Trevor, then what about your credentials? Do you own pets? Have you owned pets in the past?
Well, you know I own a pet.
That's true, but
I
the audience
currently-
might not.
Well, I have, right now I have a rescue cat. He's just run-of-the-mill kind of tabby, but he's got some mental problems, I think, and he doesn't have instincts. He lacks a lot of cat instincts.
He's hyper aggressive.
Yeah, he was abandoned and found in a ditch, and then he was taken later to it's what we call like a restore, I guess like a Salvation Army.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there looking for blinds, I think, and came home with a kitten. So I got that cat right now, and every day is just a miracle with him.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I grew up in the country, and I wasn't a farmer, but we just had a variety of animals just for fun.
Right.
So I've had rabbits, I've had sheep, I've had horses, I've had cows, and had some mice by accident.
Yeah.
Some chickens. I know
Excellent.
you've had some experience with chickens too, Derek. And I didn't have any idea what I was doing with any of them,
Right.
but my parents bought them, and I guess they were trying to introduce us to responsibility.
It's
With
fair to
animals?
say that you love animals.
Well, yeah, but then
Right.
when you're introduced to death by burying a sheep in an orchard at the age of 13, it can kind of take you back. So I think I had animals as a kid.
Sorry, can
I'm
you
trying
just
to visualize
can you just
what that
elaborate,
situation
just-
was like.
Yeah,
It's like-
elaborate on this. You had a dead sheep.
Well, dogs and cats aren't the only things that get hit by vehicles, Al.
yeah. Okay.
So, you turn your back on a sheep, those things can run.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're already the color of snow, so it doesn't help.
That's true.
So I'm picturing you like holding the sheep in your arms, crying, and then putting it down and grabbing your shovel, and you're making a grave in the garden or
In the orchard.
in the orchard
Next to the
yeah.
raspberry bushes.
Yeah.
More just trying not to throw up
Yeah.
and digging a sheep-sized hole.
Did that affect the fruit at all in the following season? Like
For me, it
you
did,
notice
Derek.
a taste or
Yeah. I was actually really attached to the sheep because I really liked him.
Huh.
Mhm.
And it was really sad for me when that happened.
Huh.
So
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, so raspberries have never quite tasted the same to me. And then, I've had a variety of dogs growing up too. And for the most part, I really enjoyed them.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I've got a ton of experience, I guess.
Wow.
Oh, well, that's great. So how about you, Derek?
Growing up, we had a few animals. There's a cat that followed my brother home, and we kept it hidden for about 2 weeks before my parents found it, and that was kind of our first foray into animals. We had a dog. My parents still have a dog now. I out in the country, I don't have a dog actually.
Ah, yes.
I have, children that are more than enough work, so I don't have a dog. But I have chickens, and I have a stray cat that kind of hangs out around our house, and I throw scraps to.
Oh, okay.
That's very charitable of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I can't say, I don't know if the chickens would count as pets or livestock.
Do you pet them?
Sometimes.
But you also make money from the eggs that they produce.
Yeah, my kid also does sell their eggs, so it's hard to say. I also did start with like 20 chickens, but I butchered half of them. So so I don't know where
You're a
us-
monster.
where that
Usually you
fits.
don't butcher your pets,
Right,
So I would
right.
say not a pet, but an
Right.
animal.
Right, but I mean, I'm thinking about this sheep incident, and like you could have, like, you know, we could
Yeah.
have some wool, we could have some food.
Yeah.
Just
You
bad
know.
memories. That's
Yeah.
what we have.
Well, you
yeah.
guys have gone a lot more exotic than I have with your pets. I mean, mine are pretty boring, but growing up on an acreage, I had a few dogs,
Yeah.
and it's can be a lonely life when you live out on an acreage and you're a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And I had a border collie that would follow me everywhere. He was my best friend.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as most country dogs' lives end, he got hit by a semi-truck.
Yep.
And the first time he got hit, he actually survived it, which was he was never quite the same.
Yep.
But the second time, no good. So that was actually that was really difficult. But
Yeah.
I mean, some people say that maybe if you as a child, if you have to deal with like the death of a beloved pet, that it maybe in some ways helps you prepare for the death of your loved ones. This is such a downer.
You never bury one of your loved ones in the orchard.
Well, you never know.
I mean, maybe
And
it's a movie.
So we had a few dogs, and then my kids, because one of my sons is very allergic to animals, we just never could. So we did experiment with goldfish for a few years, and not
Yes.
just goldfish, but a few different types of fish.
Mhm.
And I think that actually raising a dog or a cat is a lot less work than having fish and trying to keep that damn tank
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
It is oh my goodness, it's a lot of work. And if you let it go for a couple days, there's going to be fish bodies floating in there everywhere. And
You don't see the fish anymore.
No, they
No.
just start slowly
You just see
disintegrate.
like the word "help me" written in the algae. Did you at one point have to kind of make a choice between your son and a pet you really wanted?
No,
I
we
mean, not seriously, but like, did you ever consider like isolating your son in the house
Yeah.
just so you could have a dog?
Yeah, we never really gave that any thought. But the funny thing is, we have actually given some thought to having an animal now that both of our sons are away at university. But it would still be kind of a big screw you to my son whenever he came home if there was a dog just waiting there. So
Try to encourage him not to come home.
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So
Well, that's very good of you.
I guess if we got a little condo or something just for the dog,
Yeah.
if we were going to
Go
have
visit
one.
the pet.
Right, yeah, we'd keep him there and then
Yeah.
go visit him.
Yeah. Well,
You'd have to be very independent.
that's a pretty good pitch right there.
Yes.
Well, let's get into more.
Yeah.
I think we all know why we and the average person would choose to keep a pet, but there's a lot of
Yeah.
people out there who aren't adopting pets, a lot of people who are kind of foregoing and doing a petless existence for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we could think outside the box or litter box and think of, you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I thought you liked that.
Yeah.
And maybe talk about why pets? Why would somebody want a pet? Maybe reasons that people haven't thought of so far.
We're going to convince people for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to sell pets. Go.
Okay, well, I think there's some obvious ones. Companionship,
Yes.
We already mentioned it. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a cop out.
Security.
Yes, security.
Having a dog that can kind of watch out for you and protect you. And I'm saying dogs because I don't think cats would be very good at that.
They say some animals can detect cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, true.
They can smell like cancer or
Mhm.
other illnesses even.
The other one I like is that if you had a pet and then something happened, like you spilled something at home, you could just blame it on your pet so that your spouse didn't get angry with you.
A literal
So,
scapegoat.
Yeah, you could use your animal as a scapegoat. So,
There's a storybook that my son used to like. It was called Walter the Farting Dog.
oh yeah.
And it was about this dog that farts all the time, and everybody can blame it on the dog. So maybe there's a
Yes.
bonus there. You can blame
Poor
things.
hygiene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's that smell in this room? Oh,
Yeah.
it's my
It's the
dog.
dog,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Diet, I think.
You mean helping you to diet?
Yep, helping you to diet
How does
because
it- how would
Encouraging
an
you to be
animal-
physically active, maybe? Or?
some animals' food is hideously expensive.
Ah, yeah.
So then you don't have money for your own food.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think that they're just something you could bounce ideas off of. Like they're good listeners,
Mm.
you know, and they're never going to criticize you. So they don't give a lot of feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But just something so you can vocalize your inner thoughts too.
I think it's also a good self-confidence booster. You know, like most animals, they're probably not quite as smart as you are. Like I've never,
I've met some pretty smart birds.
I've never had an accident in the house. Like I've always made it. So
I wouldn't go toe to toe against some of the birds they got out there with math.
yeah,
They could beat me, I think.
yeah.
What about just testing your perception of reality?
Oh yeah.
I mean, some people live alone and they
Mhm.
don't see people enough.
Yeah.
So just having that constant other physical being in your house, you know, just a constant person like, okay, that's the cat. And
Right.
The cat's still there, so I'm not crazy.
Okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
Unless you're in the Matrix and it's that same cat that you keep seeing, right?
Yeah. Deja vu.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
it's trouble.
Well, another useful thing is if you have a bird, like it's good you're going to know there's a gas leak, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because
That's true.
A canary in a
Canary,
coal mine
yeah.
kind of thing.
right?
Yeah. I mean, we don't condone owning pets to test death.
Yeah.
No.
That's animal cruelty.
Yeah.
That would be
We're trying to
sure.
stray away from
Be
those kind of
bad.
ideas. Also, just to keep you alive. I mean, that's already something people realize. Like having a cat that you pet
Mhm.
as like a 80 or 90-year-old actually calms you.
Right.
But just having something that you have to be responsible for, I guess, could keep you sharp,
This is
keep you
true.
alive.
They also, could run for help if you
Oh.
fall down a well.
Yeah, I don't think my cat would.
No, he would just sit there over your buddy and wait for you to.
What?
He would probably consume you after you died if you got into trouble.
They do say that, yeah, if cats were large enough that they wouldn't put up with you, they would
Oh.
just kill you as soon as possible.
Yeah, I could believe that.
So,
I'd like to think my cat would wait a while.
Yeah, at least a little while.
A little while. Like till lunchtime.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've kind of nailed it there.
Yeah,
I think
for
if
sure.
you weren't convinced to get a pet, I think some of those reasons are going to ring true with you.
100%.
you stop listening to the podcast temporarily,
Yep.
run out, get a pet, and then start up again.
And don't think about it. Just grab
Yeah.
the first one you see.
It doesn't have to be a cat. It doesn't
No,
have to be a
no.
dog.
Well, and you talked about security, right?
Right.
But I think when I got the chickens at first, I had some roosters, and those things can be scary as
Yeah.
as the Dickens.
As a
And
Dickens.
so I was trying to self edit there for you. That's true.
I'm still gonna beep the
Yeah, just
Dickens.
beat but I thought, like, what if we had just like a cage with this rooster, not even a cage, just like a doghouse, but the rooster's tethered,
Right.
and like if someone's trying to break into your house, they're not expecting a rooster to lunge
Yeah.
out at them and
Oh,
start
yeah.
cawing and start going at them with their feet and
I hear-
pecking at them. Like, it would be terrifying.
I hear
think.
turkeys can be real assholes too.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
So, yeah, you could do that. And donkeys, they use donkeys to guard, I think, livestock sometimes.
Really?
They'll
I've
put
heard
them
of that,
in.
yeah.
They say they're very good at keeping the coyotes away.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Coyotes or coyotes, if you're from
Yeah.
the States, I guess.
Mhm.
Mm.
Well, we've got a game to play.
Oh, I
right?
love games.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe, Trevor, you can explain it.
Okay, well, a lot of people, I think maybe one of the reasons you don't get a pet is because the idea of naming something is so daunting for you.
Right. You don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard enough to name a human child, but it
Mhm.
goes up tenfold when you're trying to name something of a different species. I
Right.
think.
Right.
And you probably don't want to rely on just using human names all the time.
Yeah.
Or you want something a little bit original. So if you're calling your dog at the dog park, it comes instead of 10 other dogs.
You know, it seems strange though. Both you and I, who only met each other in the last 10 years or so,
That's not true.
both had a childhood
that's true.
dog. Both had a childhood dog named Rambo.
Yeah.
We
Really?
both named dogs Rambo.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine was a little toy poodle, and what was yours?
Mine was a miniature schnauzer.
So they were both tiny dogs.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have the same sense of humor.
I think the irony of
Yeah.
naming a small, useless dog Rambo. Yeah. I
Well,
don't-
mine was an asshole, and I think I've talked about that in previous podcasts. I think it came up in the Christmas podcast about how he used to guard the Christmas tree.
Oh, yes. You
And,
I told
yeah.
that story during our Christmas episode. If you haven't
That's
listened to
right.
that Christmas episode, don't put it off. It doesn't need to just be a Christmas thing.
Exactly. You could listen to that at any time.
Well, my dog loved me,
Okay.
so that's the difference.
Mhm.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, this game is Al's going to pick a personality, and we'll take turns picking a personality, and we'll take turns picking a animal type.
Okay.
We'll mash them together, And then we're going to try and come up with some halfway decent or at least unusual names for what we think would fit the personality and the breed or the type of animal. Sound good?
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
Ready.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull out. Do we want to do the breed first and then the personality?
No, personality first. I think.
Personality?
Well, I don't know how you wrote them out, but I assumed it would be
Okay.
kind of like
An adjective?
An adjective. No,
Oh.
an adjective. Yeah, an adjective.
Okay.
I forgot
Okay.
what an adverb was for a moment.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here's the first one.
Okay.
The adjective is musical.
Siamese cat.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Montessori.
Montessori.
Yeah,
that's
Montessori. It sounds talented but stuck up.
right.
I'm gonna call it Weber in in honor of Andrew Lloyd.
Huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going with Beethoven.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. There
not
was
to
a
be
dog.
confused with the dog.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
very different,
Okay.
though.
Copyright
Yeah.
infringement.
All right, let's try another one. I'm going to pull a personality. I think I had one here. Where did it go?
Oh my god.
I'm trying to find the one I had. Here it is. Stinky.
Golden Retriever.
Ah, that's plausible.
It's not a far stretch.
No. Okay, Stinky Golden Retriever. What do you name that guy?
I'm gonna go with Mr. Walnut.
Mr. Walnut.
Mr. Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
Or walnuts. I don't know.
that's good.
It sounds cute, which I think that the stinky dog would need to counteract its stinkiness.
Okay.
I have always wanted to name a dog with a human name. I think that's really funny. And the name I would give him would be Kevin.
Oh.
And that is kind of inspired by Kevin from The Office and his shoes. If you recall the episode in Niagara Falls where his shoes get thrown away
Yes.
because they were just too repulsive.
I like
So-
that
Right.
character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very fun.
What do you think? What do you got, Derek?
I'm gonna abstain from this one. Actually, well, maybe I don't know. This one
Actually, abstain is a pretty good one.
abstain. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
That's not bad.
Steve, if you're on Human Names with Stories, it makes me think my brother used to have this like story
Yeah.
that he wrote about this dude who is just overly smelly, and his name is always Steve. So it was like a kind of
We are.
family joke that we went around
Okay.
with. So maybe we'd go with that.
That's
Yeah.
nice and personal.
Yeah.
We are in no way insinuating that all Steves
No,
have an odor problem.
no, it was
Only a
just
few of them.
just a story.
Yeah.
Only ones
There's
that
some
Derek and his brother may have known.
amazing smelling Steves.
Well, let's try this again.
Let's go.
Okay. Okay, the next one is amorous or horny.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A amorous or horny poodle. Gropey? Gropey, or I'm going to say Strider.
Right?
Strider.
Strider.
I'm kind of a Lord of the Rings fan.
I like Randy
Randy.
because the dog is kind of Randy,
Yeah,
but
makes
it
sense.
works as a human name again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you can go with like Nightwalker. You know, it's
Ooh.
like a
Right.
thing you always take the poodle out
Right.
at night. To,
Yeah.
it's-
So it doesn't come into contact with other dogs, really.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's got to be
Well, that
isolated.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. What do we got next?
Vicious.
A vicious goldfish.
Oh, good combination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to call the vicious goldfish that I would own the Legend of Billy Jack.
That whole name. The
I think
Legend
it
of
would
Billy
be
Jack?
fun every time,
Legend
and you
of
have
Billy
you
Jack.
can't shorten it to Billy or Jack. You got to
Problem
say it.
the only problem is when you're calling out for your goldfish. You know, like when you want to feed it or whatever, and you have to call out for it. That's going to be a difficult handle.
I think one of the things about owning a pet goldfish is you don't yell at it. They don't like loud noises.
No,
No.
I would call it Goldfinger
Oh.
after the famous James Bond villain.
Clever.
Yeah,
Or Golden Eye.
yeah.
Yeah,
Who's
Goldfinger.
who's the Game of Thrones guy that is just a terrible human being? He
Well,
has
there's more than
he
one.
has Theron and is like as captive forever. Ramsey.
Ramsey.
There we
Bolton
go.
Ramsey.
Yeah, there we go. That's what
Is
I'm
it
going
Bolton
for.
Ramsey or
Ramsey
Ramsey
Bolton.
Bolton?
Yeah, that's what I'm going
Ramsey Bolton the
Ramsey
goldfish.
for.
Bolton.
Yeah, just a
The
terrible. Yeah,
Okay.
just vicious.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Alright.
I like it.
Yeah.
Ramsey Boltfish.
It's topical. so-
Ramsey Boltfish. There you go.
Yeah.
The last one, not too much of a stretch.
Okay.
Friendly.
A friendly. Hold on. Wait for it. A friendly parrot.
Ah,
Friendly parrot. Okay, I got one for this. I
Yeah.
think friendly. I'm going to go with a human name. Someone famous. I might name him after it. I'm going to go with Sir James Vanderbeek.
Oh,
It's got like a little like play there.
Is James Vanderbeek knighted?
Well, no, but I just feel like the parrot should have that qualifier.
you're gonna spell beak with an EAK.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
so cute.
Exactly.
James Vanderbeek.
Yeah.
right?
Aw.
Yeah.
It's a pun,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, that's great. The Canadian one comes to mind. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Tommy Douglas.
Tommy Douglas.
Yeah. It's my friendly parrot, Tommy Douglas.
Yeah.
But if I was going to go ironic with it, I would name it either Dump Truck
Oh,
Okay.
or Carnosaur.
Carnosaur.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I do like Carnosaur. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Well, this was just delightful, boys.
I don't think it was time wasted by any means.
No.
Well, it's that time once again, guys, for our shameless plug.
Excellent.
Awesome.
And as usual, I'm very excited to have this brand new sponsor on board.
Mhm.
I have seen some just amazing results after using this product.
Oh,
It's been just great.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I've been using it for just over a week now,
Mm-hmm.
and it honestly has changed almost every facet of my life.
Wow.
Like, I can't say, like, it does exactly what it says it's going to do right out of the box.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you don't see that a lot.
And there seems to be a fair bit of buzz. Like people
Oh,
are
yeah.
talking about this.
Yeah.
So,
Like, you can't go on the internet without seeing this somewhere or
Mhm.
these positive testimonials about it.
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I know the fuel efficiency in my car has gone from, I think it's improved probably by 50%.
That's
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's environmentally
So-
friendly. It's,
Mhm.
Yeah.
composting? Compostable?
Compostable.
Compostable?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like no waste.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's vegan friendly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Your hair is shinier since you started using it.
Thicker too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thicker. And yeah, like I can't get over like not just the main benefits from it.
Right.
But, just every little thing that this thing says it does 100 times that.
Yeah. I mean, like, since I started using it, my wife says she finds me more attractive. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
amazing.
Well, and it is really good for relationships. I know
Totally.
it's opened up for me a lot of conversations with my wife.
Yeah.
Like, things that maybe we hadn't broached before, but now
Totally.
that we have it, we're just so much more conversational, and our
Yeah.
relationship is so much stronger.
Yeah, it's a
that's
source of
amazing.
entertainment when you're like
Right.
on your own, but it's
Mhm.
also it can bring you and your family closer together.
Mm-hmm.
I like it as a topping for just ice cream.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
That's such a
It's
good idea.
healthy and it's flavorful.
Yeah, that's
Right.
such a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's not something that a lot of people would think to do with it.
No.
But I think that is
No.
a great use for it.
That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah. And like the customer service from the company,
Oh, yeah.
like
Incredible.
just you guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's
They're
they-
attentive.
Right.
You get them on the phone, right?
Plus the resources on the website.
Oh, the website's
Just
so great to
amazing.
navigate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so durable, though. It's not that you're really going to have too many problems
That's
with it.
true.
Sometimes it's more just like a support group just to phone in and talk about how much you love what they're doing with
Oh,
their product.
Yeah. I drove over it a few times with my car just to try it out.
Yeah.
Right.
No impact at all.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was amazing.
It's great. It's affordable. It's good for the kids. It's solar powered.
Alternative energies are all the big rage, right? It's
Oh, yeah.
important.
Mhm.
Right?
If you want to do your part for the environment, definitely.
It's old world's craftsmanship meets new wave technology.
Totally. That's a great way to describe it.
That's the only way to describe it.
Yeah, so we really hope you'll give it a try.
Right?
Yeah. You'd be
And-
stupid not to get on board with this product.
Yeah.
Like, they know what they're doing.
And if you
They
need
know what they're doing.
if you need more information, you can just go to their website,
Yep, check it out. It's all
see what
on
it's
there.
all about.
Call the
They're
customer
very-
service
Yeah.
hotline.
very
Ideas for
transparent.
use.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
We hope you'll give it a try today.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
fully 100% endorse it.
I know that probably people are going to be losing their mind when they hear this.
There's
part of
going to
the
be some
episode.
requests for more of that game. All right.
That'll hit Twitter and
Yeah.
it will be just trending for
Yeah.
sure.
I
So-
think what happens though is people go out following our advice, adopt a pet, bring it home. They get through that first major hurdle of naming the pet,
Yeah.
yeah,
and then they're faced with how do I take care of this thing?
yeah.
Now I actually have to keep it alive.
Exactly.
So I think we need to talk about pet care a little bit
Okay.
and all the categories and things that go along with just making sure your pet thrives in their new home.
Yeah, agreed. All right. Well, we have a number of areas. I guess we could talk. We could start with, the one of the most important things about owning an animal is feeding that animal,
Right.
and
Yes.
making sure that they stay healthy and well. I know
They don't come at you.
my this little Rambo dog that we had was on a very restricted diet because everything seemed to go right through him.
Right.
And, end up on our carpets and everywhere. So basically,
We recommend adopting pets of a digestive tract.
yeah, no kidding. The veterinarian had recommended to my mother that he go on a steady diet of like ground beef and rice.
Okay.
I don't know why the rice. I don't know if that seems medically a really great idea now, but that's what he ate. He pretty
Your
much
vet recommended that.
Not a lot of
pretty much ate ground beef and rice.
I would like that diet.
For a little while. If you could put some like taco seasoning in there, it'd be okay.
Yeah.
little burrito.
Yeah.
Well, we just pitched a great dish.
Yep.
Yeah.
But as for feeding, I know, Trevor, one of the things you have in your house, which I find fascinating for your cat,
Running water.
is this, yes,
Oh.
this thing that dispenses your cat's food
Oh,
at the
yeah.
same
A timed
time
food dispenser.
every day. And I think that's really great.
Yeah.
And I have an idea to take it one step further than
Oh,
that.
shoot.
Because I feel sorry for some of these animals like cats that are really, they're predators
Yeah.
and they want to hunt. I can tell when I'm over here visiting that your cat desperately wants to hunt because if I put my hand in a certain way, it will hunt.
Right.
It will actually hunt my hand.
I think it's because you smell like meat all the time.
Oh, that's true. Well, I do eat a lot of meat. So, anyways, the idea that I have is it's like that food release thing, but it's actually a little robotic animal, like
Yeah.
almost like a Roomba type thing
Okay.
that has the food dish in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it comes out only at a certain time,
Yeah.
and the cat has to hunt it to actually get the bowl. Like it'll just be scurrying.
It moves
away.
erratically around.
Yeah, it's going all over the place, and it's quick, and it's
Right.
difficult to
Right.
actually get. They would just make the cat feel a lot more fulfilled.
I think that's a great idea.
No,
Yeah.
what if you could have a different version of that where you just have a big bucket of mice, live mice.
Oh yeah.
And every couple hours on the bell it just releases one and then it's loose in your house and that cat has to catch it.
I'm not sure that's a great idea unless you have
Yeah.
a lot of faith in your cat.
Okay,
Then you're
okay.
just inviting mice into your house.
All right.
I'll take it back. I'll workshop it a little bit
Workshop
more
it.
and see
Yeah.
what's
It's not a bad idea. It's
Yeah.
just not ready.
Okay.
I have one that's remarkably similar to what you said, Al. And it's again about getting your cat's predatory instincts involved, but also your dog's playfulness, I
Right.
guess. And it's just about, I think what's great about yours is not only is your animal getting fed, but it's
Yeah.
also getting exercise at the same
Right,
time.
Right.
So my idea is a food flinger.
Okay.
So it just whips the food in small portions at a high velocity across the room.
Okay.
And your pet's going to jump for it. And I think it'll be an exciting meal.
Like it's
Yeah.
got to catch it in its mouth.
Yeah.
Knocking over like dishes and tables.
Yeah, and the
chairs
angle of the
stuff.
arm changes
Right.
without warning, so it could go straight, it could go straight up, it could go
Right.
right down to the floor. You don't know.
There's a high pitched warning sound that
Yeah.
just tells the animal it's about to happen.
And it tells the owners to get out of the room.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Especially if you're serving dry food,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, that's good.
Take a kibble to an eye.
So it's almost like one of those things that they shoot the clay pigeons up in the air with.
Yes, exactly
Right?
the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a skeet thrower. Yeah.
My with the chickens and with my cat, who's not really my cat, but just hangs out and absorbs the warmth of my garage.
Yeah.
We use it kind of as a compost material because they eat the majority of our kitchen scraps, and so I cut down on waste that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
just
smart.
prepare the food in brick form
Yeah.
or have a composting machine.
Like if you could just like go around and grab the old food from the gravy garden or somewhere and then
yes.
just take that home. There you go. Throw it through a mulcher or something.
That's an
You
excellent
got
idea.
animal food.
It's good for the environment.
Exactly.
Creates no waste
That's
until
right.
later. And yeah, that's not bad.
Awesome.
Well, that's definitely some good ideas for feeding the
Right.
animal.
Yeah,
What about the other end of it?
Once you get through the feeding.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
the poop.
Yes, like bylaws are probably different in some cities, but I think in most
Definitely.
places you're expected. Talking about dogs, you're expected if you take a dog out for a walk and your dog decides to poop somewhere,
Yeah,
you got to
get that.
pick it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this might be the one major reason, aside from the allergies of my son, that we don't have a dog, because I don't want to have to do that.
No. I am squeamish about the litter box with the cat.
Right.
So unfortunately, I don't deal with that as much as I should. And the lady I live with, she often will take up the slack there, and I really appreciate that.
I would have no idea what you'd even do with a litter box. So.
Yeah. Well, there's some sophisticated cat litter boxes out there I was looking into if you want to spend some coin.
Really?
Yeah, like there's ones that are self-cleaning, which you've probably seen. Like, you know,
just like scoops through.
yeah, it scoops it into a smaller container and you just empty that container. So you don't have to empty it as much, but they're a little problematic. But there's one you can spend a lot of money on that has more of like these crystals for the litter,
Okay.
and they're washable crystals.
Right.
And this litter box is actually plumbed in. I'm not joking.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
Sounds wonderful.
it's disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
But it's super convenient, but it's so gross.
Huh.
It liquefies your cat's waste, and then it just goes down a drain.
Yeah.
And the crystals just
Oh,
can be
God.
reused. But just the idea of liquefying the waste,
Yeah,
I couldn't
so-
bring myself to do it, and it costs way too much.
Huh.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm still stuck on the robot idea from the
You like
the
robots.
foods, the feeding. But like, if the litter box was able to actually just drive itself out the front, like when it got
Oh,
full,
yeah.
go out the front door and then just go over to the neighbors
Yeah.
and just kind of unleash like a dump truck, just
Yeah.
kind of lift its end up and then down and then back into the house.
Ah,
Be great. Maybe go around back, grab the spray nozzle,
Yeah.
yeah.
spray out,
Hose
everything.
itself out.
A Roomba toilet.
Yeah. So
That's not a bad idea, actually.
yeah.
It's
I'm
really good.
I'm wondering about like, you know, there's like got like AstroTurf and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a conveyor belt that you could have in your backyard. You know, your dog could you know, go on it for exercise, but then, you know, it could slow down. It could use for defecating, and then it could just same thing, slide it right there. You got a little hole in your fence, and it just slides it
You don't
right,
worry
right
about
next
where
door.
it goes.
No, it's just going
not
next
your
door.
problem.
Yeah.
The only problem is if your neighbor has one of those too.
Yeah, and it's going back and forth.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't know the science behind making this device, but this idea of, okay, so, you know, you go to the park, you take your dog for a walk, and then you got to pick this up. Now, a lot of people, they take like a grocery bag, an old grocery bag, they put it around their arm, and then they pick up the crap. I don't want to do that.
Okay. You
That's
want to
gross.
just skip the bag?
You're still gonna feel that warm kind of.
Some people like that if it's cold.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
No, not for me.
Like a little hand warmer? Or?
Yeah, some
There's
people have
also
told me that.
There's also the pooper scooper, but then I still have to look at it, sweep it in there.
Right.
I don't like it. So my idea is, and I don't know how this scientifically would work, but somebody out there is smarter than me. It's just a little handheld device. It's very high powered, and it's called the Annihilator.
Okay.
And all you have to do is aim it at the mess, and it just instantly incinerates it.
You know, that's very similar to.
Maybe it's like a laser beam or something that comes out. I'm not
There
sure.
was a movie with Jack Black called Envy,
right?
where he invents a poo vaporizer, and
Okay.
it's a spray. You just spray on poop, and it
It
disappears.
just melts down.
Yeah, it melts.
Yeah.
Well, it just it disintegrates. Like no one knows where it goes.
Well,
Same with the interest in that movie. Unfortunately, it didn't do well. But
Yeah.
Well, I guess for that matter of facts, then you could do it kind of like the way they dispose of bodies in Breaking Bad.
oh yes,
And
You
but
could
you're
get
still
chemical
gonna have
about
to
it.
pick it up.
yeah.
But
Get scientific about it.
yeah,
What do you think of pets using the toilet?
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued and terrified about it.
Well, I
Yeah.
have witnessed it because I know some people who trained their cat to use the toilet, and I think it's gross
Yeah,
because I don't like the idea of cat fur being on the toilet seat when I'm using it, and
Yes.
I also don't want to come into the room and see because they didn't train it to flush,
no.
so you'd have like the little cat droppings in the
So
toilet,
my thinking would be is that
and
you-
sometimes it doesn't. It leaves the seat up, which is not nice.
my thinking is that you have a doggy toilet that's
Yes.
right beside your regular
Like
toilet.
a mini toilet.
Yeah, and it's just a little one, and it's inside of a kennel, so you don't have to see it.
Yeah.
And the dog cleans it. You don't worry about
Would you
that.
go at the same time he's using it?
Well, that would depend on your relationship with your pet, I
I
guess.
guess, and your openness
So-
to that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you know your pet really well, you could forego all this fancy measures and like you could just know. And like as soon as you think your cat is going, you just grab him and hold him over the sink.
Yeah.
or the
You
garbage.
choose the sink.
Well, for number one, I guess.
The kitchen sink,
I
not
mean,
the bathroom.
whatever.
I mean, if you can't make it to the toilet, which would obviously be the first choice.
Yes, okay.
But yeah, that's a hold the cat over a receptacle system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they'd enjoy that, so I guess you'd have to test it out. But
I've got a couple ideas to throw at you. One, did you ever watch? There used to be an old SNL sketch called The Falconer.
Oh,
You're familiar
yes.
with this?
Yes, I remember.
maybe.
Okay, so I'm thinking like, you could have a companion pet, which would be your falcon. And then when your dog goes, the falcon just scoops down and just flies off and goes and drops it somewhere and then comes back. I mean, it would need some kind of like compostable bag or something so that, when it comes back to your shoulder, it doesn't have crap on its talons. But you'd like a companion pet that would go and dump it somewhere.
That's great.
My other idea was there's AIs coming along. You could have a subscription service where you just drop the GPS coordinates of your animal's poop, and then a drone service just comes, grabs it
somehow.
and takes it over to pet waste facility somewhere.
So then we would have like flying feces.
Yeah, it'd have to have some.
Oh, wouldn't it be awful if like the pizza delivery drones got mixed up
got
with
confused.
the feces pickup drones?
Start throwing it everywhere.
I'm picturing a movie set like 50 years in the future where the sky is just filled with drones that are going around picking up dog shit.
Yeah.
I have another thought about, and I just want to say, like, I think it's kind of disturbing that we have so many ideas about pets going to the bathroom.
Well, it's an inconvenience.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a facet of daily life that wouldn't be improved by having a falcon, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I was in London and I was walking down one of the downtown like business areas of London, and towards me walked this guy, well dressed, and he had a falcon on a glove.
Yeah.
Like he must have come out of some kind of exotic pet store or something.
Right.
But he was walking just around with a falcon.
London.
And he wasn't drawing attention to himself.
No.
This was just his day. And I thought, this guy has such confidence and poise. And I wanted to be him immediately.
Scientists have become pretty smart about gene splicing and breeding out certain things in animals and in plants. Like you can make a peach and an apple kind of hybrid now.
Right.
A papple.
Well, why can't so why can't you just breed out the need for pets to use the bathroom?
Well, I think we could all say that we enjoy using the bathroom.
Right.
So I don't think we want to deprive animals of that pleasure.
So they just like reabsorb everything.
I don't know.
Until they have super advanced like
Revolutionary
livers or
new
something.
breeding.
that's
Again,
like-
I'm
that's,
not behind the science here.
That sounds like a real innovative way to be super cruel.
Yeah.
Way to go, Al.
Well, maybe they sweat it out or something.
You just got a backed up Pekingese. Just angry. I don't want my pets sweating out their waste. That would definitely be a stinky dog.
Perhaps there's
a little
like a
compartment that you can just press a button and you can remove the compartment and you can chuck it in the garbage. You don't have to see anything.
Like
And then you put in-
cybernetics?
Yeah, and you put a new cartridge in when that one's empty, full. I don't know.
well, maybe
poop
there's
pouch.
like a diet that could be like an animal diet that would contain all the nutrients, everything they need to exist, but the way it would be processed by their system would have no waste. You can get pesticides that I can spray across my whole field and kill everything except for the plant I want to get. So maybe you can, breed in this animal that would consume this food that would, be no waste animal.
Lots of great ideas, and I hope scientists are listening.
Yeah,
Well, full
'cause-
disclosure, I think we're spitballing here, and I think by no means anyone should try to bioengineer their own pet so that it doesn't go to the bathroom anymore. What about eventually, even if you are feeding your pet the right stuff and you're trying to get them some exercise and things, they're going to have to go to the vet.
Yeah.
And it's just about getting shots and stuff too, so preventative.
Right.
So what about going to the vet? I know it can be a real ordeal for some. Like I can't take my cat there. You're thinking of something.
Well, I have
Al's got a vet story.
You got a story?
I have an idea for how to get your animal to the vet
okay.
because
Okay.
some animals they know right away,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you just tell your dog that it's going to get laid, it'll probably get right in the car and go wherever you want it to go.
Yeah.
So that's my idea.
They did that like
fool it.
training with like Pavlov, right?
Right, yeah.
Where you could like play a bell and then the dog gets laid, but then when you play that bell, it also,
right.
you could trick it out and take
I
it.
think lying to your pet's a fine idea. Like
Yeah.
I think
Why?
telling them that they're going to the ice cream shop,
Right.
Most
or
people
we're going
do
to
this,
Disneyland, right?
Yeah,
You lie to your
we're
kids
going to
sometimes when you
Disneyland.
take them to the hospital for a
Yeah.
shot or
Yeah.
the doctor's office, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So misdirection, lying to your pet.
Yeah.
Tell your kid they're going to Disneyland and
Yeah.
to the doctor.
People do that, don't they?
Well, that
the
seems
worst.
a bit cruel.
Well, I mean, if a kid
Zero
thinks that you
trust.
can get to Disneyland in 15 minutes, that kid deserves it. When I try to take we don't do it anymore, but when we tried to take our cat to the vet, we put it in the kennel, and it likes the
Right.
kennel.
Uh-huh.
It's like it likes small spaces and forks and things like that.
Mm.
So when you try to put it in the kennel, it's fine, but in the car, it's not so great. It's okay, but then it's like that movie Speed.
Right.
It's fine as long as I stay below a certain speed, but then if I go over like 40 kilometers an hour,
Huh.
it starts to meow like crazy.
It knows.
It knows the velocity of the car, I guess.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's watching the speedometer
Yeah.
just.
And then it instantly goes into panic mode when it gets to the vet from the smells, I guess.
Huh.
And it attacks the vet. The vet refused to not refused, but highly suggested that maybe we have the vet come for house calls to the house.
Mm.
And you got to pay extra for that, I'm sure.
I don't think you really have to pay much, like with our current vet. But
Huh.
yeah, that was an option.
Oh,
And they also said, you don't need to bring them all the time,
right.
And
Well, you just go without them.
they said, like skip a few shots.
You just go
And I
hang out.
actually saw like they have a record just like we have a record that
Right.
doctors see,
Mhm.
your permanent record.
Yeah.
And it said this cat is a grumpy cat,
Oh.
which is a nice way of saying what he really is.
Yeah.
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 He's a
So
summer-
I don't take my pet to the vet
Right.
as often as I should anymore for everybody's benefit.
My thought is the veterinarians could probably help things if they were disguised for the animal. Like say that there was a dog or whatever, then maybe the vet is in this really big Labrador costume,
Yeah.
and he's got a really strong aromatic ass that the dog can sniff just to get comfortable, and then, then he could sneak his injections in or whatever he has to do, right?
Like it just has a soothing smell. But then I don't think your dog would trust any other dog ever again if it got jabbed.
Right?
Yeah.
This is like a play on a previous pitch of cosplay doctors.
I
think.
suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
But for
you
the
could
dogs.
you could get a really smart dog and train it
Oh,
to do
yeah.
the vet's work.
Dog vet.
Oh, a
Right.
medic dog,
Train
Right.
those dogs to
a nurse,
Yeah.
a nurse cat.
Right.
Right. Interesting.
I think just playing soothing music like Enya,
Mm-hmm.
I think that would do it. Yeah,
For sure. Well, some good ideas there.
Uh-huh.
and some ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And true.
Yeah.
Now, at some point in time, you have an animal. I mean, you want to leave the house. I'm
Probably.
sure. Like, what do you do at that point?
Mm.
Well, I mean, you just go to work.
Right. Do you? I've heard of people like when they go to work, they take their pet to like a pet daycare.
Those people are crazy.
When you go to work,
Yeah,
Yes.
like their animals. They
only like a few
destroy
hours.
the house or something.
oh
Yeah.
And so their pets go to a pet daycare
Well,
somewhere.
and have you seen on TV the ads for the like video system that you can have now that you can put on your phone, and then there's a screen at home, and your animal
yeah.
you can check in on your animal, and your animal can see you.
yeah.
Like you can FaceTime your
It's like a
animal
baby
during the day
monitor,
kind of
but
thing?
for your dog.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was watching the Disney show on Imagineering the other day,
Yeah.
and they were talking about all these animatronic characters that they created for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So why not just have animatronic versions of all of your family members made, and then when you're not home, it would just soothe the animal and just have some catchphrases that they might
Okay.
say, and
You could record some stuff into them.
right, exactly. So you just have a whole animatronic family there
Okay.
that can soothe your animal while
Do you
you're
think your
gone.
pet would get terribly confused when the real family member showed up and there's just two like daughters now?
The animatronic characters automatically walk to a closet as soon as
Yeah.
as soon as the front door code
It's
Is
like
that
key sensor in your pocket.
Yeah.
It would be come in handy if you ever left your 12-year-old, like back from vacation or something, and
Right.
needed to convince people not to break into their house too,
Yeah.
like those animatronic
Home Alone
characters.
it.
Yeah, right. They just be.
Yeah.
It'd be devastating to find out that your pet prefers the robot version.
That's true. That's true.
Would a pet be able to tell the difference between you and your animatronic version?
I don't know. Not if it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
What about like some kind of Matrix style alternate reality? When you leave your pet, they get some kind of like minor sedation, but they're in like this they get plugged into the Matrix when you're gone, so they think they're just
like a
running around with you.
They're in a dog
virtual
park all day or
Yeah,
something.
they're just like running around in the dog
Yeah.
park all day.
What if you just put
They
an
don't know.
Oculus Rift on them? You get a
Yeah.
special helmet that's
Yeah.
made for the dog or for the
Yeah.
animal, and
There
then
you
put
go.
that on.
Oculus Pet.
Yeah, I think
Oculus
they'd love
Pet.
it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure though. Their limbs might like how they'd actually react because they wouldn't know they were in a VR.
That is
Ooh,
true.
You'd have dents in your walls.
Yeah,
You'd have
For
to have
sure.
a special room for it, maybe.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think just having another like more responsible, slightly older pet in your house to take care of the other one would
Like
be
a
fine.
monkey or something.
Yeah, like a helper monkey,
Yeah.
or like just an old, like sensible sheepdog
Right.
just watches the house. And, you don't want something that's going to
Yeah.
invite its boyfriend over
Right.
and eat all your food, but
Like something named like Morley or something.
Morley, yeah, we're going out for the night. Morley's in charge.
Yeah.
I've always liked the idea of having a monkey or even like a gorilla. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it would just be fun to have a gorilla just sitting on your couch, just kind of grumpy when you come in. You got to make sure you're not going to look it in the eye because it'll charge you. You know, you
Just
got
kind
to
of
stay
a big
really
silverback in
submissive.
the
Yeah, just a big silverback.
Just to check you, like a behavior check.
Right? Keep you in line a little bit.
I think I'd like to be cradled by a gorilla. Yeah. If you had a rough day,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'd be all right.
be great.
I think a helper monkey appeals to me because I'm so lazy sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's what they're meant for.
No. Okay.
I'm not sure it's even really legal to
Well,
have. Is it
Who knows?
To have
if
a
it's
gorilla?
legal?
to have a
Or have-
gorilla? Yeah, a
It's not
gorilla
legal to
or a
have a
monkey.
gorilla.
I don't know.
Yeah,
The
I-
gorilla is probably less legal than the monkey.
I
for
would
sure.
assume so.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look into it sometime.
Yeah.
We'll get a helper pet to look into it for us.
So do you guys remember when we did the childcare episode? We did a section called "What Do You Do, Hotshot?"
Vaguely.
Yes.
Yes, and in that section, I believe we actually posed childcare problems to Trevor, and then he had to come up with solutions for them.
Right.
So I thought it might be interesting if we could just pose some pet-related issues to each other and
Okay.
come up with some solutions to them.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I think it's a heck of an idea.
That's
Sounds-
good because
sounds
we were
great.
going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
But I've got the first one here.
Okay.
For you.
Okay.
Okay. Here's my problem.
Okay.
And I don't know what it is, but there are many a large dog
Okay.
that seem to enjoy sniffing my crotch.
Oh my.
And I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure I keep things clean down there.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just really
You're
aromatic.
changing your pants.
But there are some dogs that'll just go after it and they just won't leave it alone
Yeah.
whenever I walk into a room.
Yeah.
So what do you do, Hotshot?
Well,
Stop walking into rooms.
yeah. You can maybe get a collar for this dog.
Okay.
Okay. If this is a dog you see repeatedly, collar that's connected to to your belt.
Right.
And when it gets too close in proximity, it could just start screaming at the dog. Just
Mm-hmm.
get out of here. Don't go here.
Get out of
Not
here.
for
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Get
Danger zone.
permission
Right.
first, whatever, and
Get permission
you know.
first.
That's a weird one.
Okay.
Here's a much more normal problem I think a lot of people deal with. Just dogs messing all over the place.
Yeah.
Like just how to potty train your dog, I guess. So it's not going over your house.
Yeah.
What do you do, hot shot?
There's a lot of theories about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't have indoor pets. They only exist outside.
So that's your solution.
That's how I solve the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Not
Mhm.
bad. I like Alan's idea of having just a separate residence for your pet. And then they
Oh,
do.
yeah.
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 Like if you're not going to learn, you wreck your own house.
And then you also hire a cleaner for that residence as well.
Yeah. The world's most depressed cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this scenario, you're fairly wealthy because you've bought a condo for your dog, and there's a cleaner that comes.
Like, is this like a with a house within your house, or is this like a condo, like something
It's a
you've built in the
separate office,
backyard?
like
or
downtown.
This is like in a different location.
It's a few
But it's got
kilometers.
underground
you
parking.
you go and visit it.
yeah, it's got underground parking.
All right.
He
It's
doesn't
on a
use
different
it.
side of the city, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I guess you could just try modeling. Like you could just like if the dog you catch the dog when it's messing, you
Watch me.
Oh, hey, and then you go and you take it and you go outside and you poop in the yard. And
Yeah.
get
You
the
do that
dog.
with your kids, right?
Yeah, right.
Go to the washroom and you walk like, okay, I'm going to go into this stall and
hmm
okay, that's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, you would want to make sure you don't get arrested.
Right. Well,
So
if
a
it's in
backyard,
your backyard,
and then if
you're
anyone
probably okay.
sees you, it's their fault for being
Right.
nosy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. What about sorry to go twice in a row.
Yeah.
No.
What
No.
about just having a ferret that keeps getting stuck behind the drywall?
Behind the.
What do you do,
drywall.
hot shot? Your ferret keeps getting in the wall. What do you do?
Can ferrets climb?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they sure can.
Are they eating into the drywall or just finding holes?
They
or
find a
clawing
very
in,
small
or-
hole and they
Okay.
squish in.
My solution would be to just build a few entrance and exit points for
Oh,
them. Make
Swiss-
them decorative.
Swiss cheese your wall.
Right. Just a few spots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they get a little
You know.
place where they can play in the
So
wall.
it's frustrating, but they'll come out eventually.
Mhm.
Either that or never drywall your house.
Yeah,
Just leave it.
Just,
in
good
yeah,
idea.
just leave it.
Just have the bare
really
studs.
open
Right.
concept.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's smart actually.
hmm
Okay, we solved that one right there.
If you want a ferret, you're going to make a few sacrifices, right?
exactly.
So-
Yeah, you're pretty desperate at that point, I think, if you want a ferret.
Okay.
Well, you got any other scenarios? Either of you?
Your silverback gorilla
Okay.
keeps flinging its turds at you while you're
Right.
watching MacGyver.
Right.
And they would be heavy.
Right.
Only MacGyver?
MacGyver.
Or other.
Okay, anything.
Maybe Matlock.
Okay.
Other 80s type shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a dated reference.
Right. Okay. Anyways,
You're trying to watch Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're watching television and
Yeah.
the silverback gorilla keeps flinging its turds at you.
Right,
What do
sure.
you do, Hotshot?
Could you somehow create like a shield that also has sort of like a trampoline material on it so that, you know, and that old adage, you know, bounces off of me and sticks to you.
Oh.
You could just put up your shield and it would bounce back and hit the silver,
learning
back,
thing.
you know?
They're pretty smart.
Right.
You could
Yeah.
certainly try it.
Right, okay.
Right?
Yeah, just a plexiglass container, I guess. But I think
Right.
it would catch on to that once it can't see out anymore.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, not that you would sit in to keep you safe, one that would keep them
Yeah.
from, yeah.
There's no getting it to stop, I think.
Mhm.
So all you can do is like wear a poncho or a raincoat,
Right.
Uh huh.
I think.
I don't know. I think they're pretty smart, and you might try reasoning with it.
I
Right.
think
You
some
might,
of them are smarter
You
than
might have a conversation and say like,
here's how this
you know, really, it makes me feel really sad when
All
you
right. Use some of the
hurl.
like, when you I feel
Yeah.
statements.
Yeah,
with
right,
it.
yeah.
when
Right.
you do this, I feel
when you hurl your
not validated.
I feel like you don't appreciate me.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
What about one of those little spray guns that you use with
Oh,
the cats? You know, you can
yeah.
just give it a little
Well,
spritz
how
every
to,
time.
how to
Like a
get
spray
killed by a
fire
silverback gorilla, right? Your spray.
How to end it via silverback gorilla. What about some people like parrots? What happens when you just get a sassy, foul-mouthed parrot that just streams of obscenities?
I think you bring it everywhere you go.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Mm.
just like a conversation piece.
okay.
Mhm.
So you don't try to correct the behavior; you
No,
just
you
utilize
just-
it.
You try to profit from it,
Yeah,
actually.
You just start like a ventriloquist bit or something.
Yeah, exactly. A whole stand-up comedy
Yeah.
bit. You're
You
touring
use it
with
to express things that you can't bring yourself to express to like
Right.
coworkers.
You use it to have hard conversations.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Janet, I'm going to leave my pet here for a moment, and when I come back, I hope we've resolved things. Okay.
Very good. Yeah.
Overly depressed hamster. What do you do, Hotshot?
Oh,
Your hamster's lethargic, won't run in its wheel, just looks sad. A teddy bear hamster who's given up. What do you do?
you take that hamster on an all-inclusive hamster vacation.
Yes.
Massages.
Right. Just a little
Yeah.
Somebody sets up a business for
Yeah.
hamsters, and
Yeah.
they just there's a swim up bar there.
It's a spa.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there are
Yeah.
pet spas, aren't there?
There's got to
I
be.
think so.
Yeah, I
People
wonder
would
if
be
there's-
nuts about that.
if they
There's
cater
a-
to hamsters.
There's a Magic School Bus episode about it.
Well, it's pretty good.
So,
There is
Mhm.
one other issue that I had with pets that I couldn't solve:
what's up?
cannibal fish.
Oh yes.
You know, one fish eats the other.
You're right.
Yep.
Yep.
As they tend to do.
I don't know what to do if you just never let that fish around other fish.
Yeah.
You know, or you can't have a conversation with a fish.
There, I heard about, and I'm not sure, I've not verified if this is a true study or
Okay.
not, but I heard about a study where they had the bigger fish that would eat the smaller fish,
Yeah.
and they inserted plexiglass
Oh,
into the tank,
right.
and so the bigger fish would
separate them.
try to go for the little fish,
Yeah.
and every time it tried to get the little fish, it would slam into the plexiglass.
Oh.
And so after a while of constantly hitting the plexiglass,
Right.
instead of getting the fish, they took out the plexiglass, and it didn't even try to
Oh.
get the fish anymore.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Huh. I wouldn't have thought fish would have been smart enough to even remember that.
I
They would
don't know,
have just
yeah.
Yeah, goldfish have notoriously poor memories,
Mhm.
but that's ingenious, actually.
Mhm.
Well, cool. You learn something new every day.
What about, like, you know how prisons have little isolation boxes for prisoners that have been misbehaving?
The whole
Right.
or solitary.
Yeah, right. So you have a solitaire in the tank, like just a small little section that if that fish eats another fish, it goes down there.
Right.
And for 3 days or whatever the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
And
the
the other
hardest 2
fish are
weeks it's gonna
encouraged to
do.
ridicule it.
Yeah. Then you
Comes
get
out
your new
blinking
fish.
at the sunlight.
yeah.
Your world boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
It stays to its part of the fish tank when it's pumping weights outside in the yard. And
doesn't cross the yard.
it knows. Yeah, it knows. No.
Shawshank, but in an aquarium. Pretty good. I like that. Well, I think we solved a lot of problems there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The hardest part, maybe beyond naming your pet or keeping your pets from eating each other, would be what happens when that pet's time is finally up.
Mm.
You know, like people get super attached to their pet. Like I can't imagine life without the cat now.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you ease the passing of your furry best friend? Like send your pet off with dignity and respect
Mm.
and make it more of a healing time? I mean, people flush fish and
Right.
you bury the dog, but is there anything that people maybe haven't thought of that we can pitch out there?
Do people have people considered using taxidermists
Yes.
to preserve
people
their
do
dog for eternity?
Yeah, people have like dog coffee tables and stuff.
That was
They make a coffee table out of
Well,
their dog?
I've heard of that. It's like in a lot of movies and things.
Mm.
Like you have the pet in the living room for years after.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a terrifying thing, but
yeah.
I'm not judging.
I was thinking along the lines of you could tan, you could have that animal like the hide tan, and you could have it made into something.
Wow.
Like something nice
You are
that
dark today.
you could like cuddle with. Like you're missing that. You have your nice gloves. You're like, oh, I'm gonna
They
think
made a movie
this.
about this.
And while
Derek.
you're stripping the hide off of
Oh
your
my
dead
God.
I'm
pet,
not saying
are
you do it.
gonna
I'm
be
saying you
crying?
outsource that.
Okay,
here's
You
the
outsource.
thing.
Well, it's no different
There's
than
already-
taxidermy.
There's a movie about this called 101 Dalmatians, and you are now the character Cruella DeVille.
I'm not saying I'm going to kill puppies. I'm saying when my beloved buddy passes away, I could remember him instead of making him into a table. I
Right.
could make him into something useful.
Well, I think they're all basically bad ideas. But,
This is garbage.
yeah. We tried. I don't know. What else could you possibly do?
Well, the funeral,
Yes.
you could actually have more of a ceremony, I
Yeah.
guess, when you're burying like the
Mhm.
pet in the
Yeah.
shoebox in the
Mhm.
backyard. You could write a song for it. Or
Yeah.
you perform
okay.
with a wood flute.
And
Yes.
you could have all
know.
of the dog's doggy friends come in to be pallbearers.
Oh, yes.
Right.
They'd probably really suck
Paw
at it.
bears.
Yeah.
Pallbearers.
There
That's
you
cute.
go.
Yeah, that's better than other ideas.
You could rig up something where they all there's like a saddle on each of them.
Right.
That
Oh,
carries
yeah.
the.
You could go Egyptian with it, and you could bury it with all its little toys and possessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and maybe a little pyramid, I guess.
There are like things where you can like human burials have. You could get like it's like a box kind of thing where you would be cremated, but then there'd be like a tree, and so a tree would grow from your remains. Maybe you could do something like that in a park. You know?
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
People turn loved ones' ashes into diamonds that they'll wear. I think it's a little strange, but
that's a thing.
Yeah, some people will turn a loved one into a diamond, and they'll wear them, or they'll put their ashes in a little thing they hang around their neck or something. But I don't know if my loved ones want to go everywhere I go after they're gone.
Yeah.
If you want to blow some coin on it, you could hire a celebrity to read the eulogy.
Yeah.
Have a celebrity voice. I think that would be nice.
Yeah.
Emilio Estevez says goodbye to your Chihuahua for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I could, I'd like to fire mine into space.
Oh yeah.
Like
a space funeral.
In like kind of like a Spock type casket that they had in the Wrath of Khan, Star Trek 2, the Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
You just fire it right off into
peacefully
space.
drift into space.
Yeah.
I think that could
just
be more of an option
around
as we explore space more.
Right.
They already got private citizens going out into space, potentially.
And then it lands on a volatile new planet that's just been created by a bomb that's gone off, and then there's a whole rebirth, and your dog comes back to life.
Is this more
from the radiation?
Yeah, I guess it's basically Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 3, but
yeah, not terrible.
Superman seems to be able to come back to life, so why can't my dog?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I think those are some unique ideas that maybe people hadn't thought of before.
Yeah.
Okay, now there seems to be like no end to the things that you can get for your dog. I don't want. We should lighten this up a little bit after funerals, and
it doesn't need to be all about death.
So like, are there new ideas of things that are like accessories for pets that we need? Like, it seems like everything is done here. But is there something else?
Again, I don't know everything that could be out there, so you're probably right. Like, everything might have already been done, but I don't know. There's a lot of clothing for pets,
right?
Oh yeah.
But are there medical alert bracelets for pets?
I bet there are.
No. Is there those things where they like if they're in trouble, they can push it, or like it goes to a sensor saying, "Oh, this pet's fallen."
I don't know.
Help my dog's fallen and it can't get up.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like,
could you get like an iWatch for your Labradoodle that calculates its steps, so you could make sure it's doing
a step counter?
Right.
But
it's doing
how
can
it relay the information to the pet in a way that they would understand?
That's true. I don't know.
Or maybe it's just so you can keep track of the exercise your pet's getting.
Right.
If you want to exercise your pet, you could equip your house in a way that the floors are constantly, when you're away from the house, the floors are constantly tilting and unlevel, so the dog or the cat has to constantly be moving to adjust itself to the changing environment.
Not a torture room, but more of
it'd be fun. It'd be fun for the animal.
Oh, like a bouncy castle for a pet, maybe something. Smartphones for animals. I mean.
Yeah, with a limited plan, though.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I would only give it 1 gig of data a month for sure.
They're going to rack up real quick.
Well, the one I'd like to see that was, I believe it was in the movie Up, was like a pet language conversion type box, right? Like the dogs all had these collars on that then you could understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Something that interprets a cat's meows or a dog's barks.
That's great.
And you could have like custom voices, you could have Samuel L. Jackson for your Shih Tzu or something.
Right.
You could play with it. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I thought if you have a pet for home security already, if you want to make it more effective, you have like a little pet headset mic that they wear.
Yeah.
And speakers. And then their bark becomes a real deterrent.
Right.
It's got a lot of bass to it. A bit Dolby surround sound.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to come into your house.
Hidden speakers around.
And if your dog's a little bit of a wuss and doesn't have that type of a bark, it takes the bark that they put out and it makes it much fiercer.
Right. So like your wiener dog's yap becomes
sounds like a
Mastiff Ralph.
Yeah.
Right. Excellent ideas. Well, to end off the episode, I thought we might look at some erotic pet hybrids.
exotic pet hybrids.
Oh,
I think
yes,
down
sorry.
below.
So
Exotic
that's
pet
different.
hybrids.
It's a different thing.
A letter makes a difference.
Way weirder.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
Yeah, some exotic pet hybrids we'd like to see, or just exotic pets in general.
Yeah.
And
Not that we want to play God.
no, but if I don't know if I could, I would. I guess.
Yeah.
So here's my idea. I want to have a little.
Are these plausible to begin with? Sorry.
No, not really. I
Okay.
mean, maybe somebody who's really smart with like
Yeah.
gene splicing and all that
I
stuff
think
could
yeah.
make
Could
this.
be done. It's been done. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
we
want not implausible, like orcas are mammals, so I'd like to have a little miniature orca, like maybe no larger than like I don't know, like a mid-sized dog.
Okay.
Right? Like a border collie.
Like a
or
house
something.
hippo.
Right.
Right.
And either the orca can survive out of water.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one possibility. Or if you can't do that, then maybe the one that can just withstand like really hot temperatures and you can keep it in your hot tub.
Oh.
You know?
As long as it's not hurting the mini orca that you've created. Yeah.
Right.
You could replay
So-
that last scene from Free Willy and
Yeah.
have it
Right,
leap
yeah.
over you.
Yeah.
Or you
Into your
have
neighbor's hot tub or
trains, right?
something.
Yeah.
But probably the withstanding 102 degrees would be
That'd be tough.
little bit tricky. And the other thing too is when you put the hot tub cover on, that's pretty depressing for that orca.
Right.
That's no good.
No, but just some thoughts. I
A
think
mini
it'd be-
orca would be adorable.
Yeah, like in your house.
Yeah.
like one that doesn't need water. Like to
And
be
just
in
like
the
walks on
That
its
sounds
fins.
scary to me.
It's got like a little wagon that you cart it around in, and it's
So you tow it around. It has no mobility
like a terrible
on its own.
yeah. Well, every once in a while you take it to the lake.
Yeah,
and
okay.
It's freshwater adapted.
Okay.
And you put it in there with a collar.
And you hope that it comes back.
I don't think it would.
Some fisherman is pulling it up.
Jeez.
And he's just a porky little, just a cute porky little
Yeah.
orca. Yeah. Maybe it's a cross between a pig and an orca.
There you go.
There you go, a porca.
Porca.
Oh gosh. Oh, I think
All
we
right. So
found
a
it.
mini pig orca. That's
Yeah.
not bad.
All right.
Slug turtle.
A slug turtle.
Yeah, it's like an even slower turtle who just leaves a trail. I mean, it's not a good pet, but I'd be curious to see it.
Does it have a shell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So it looks a lot like a turtle.
Yeah, except
But it leaves a slime
Yeah,
behind
it
it.
doesn't really have the legs. It just has the shell and feelers, I guess. And ugh.
And then, slugs will go right back into the soil, right? But this
Oh.
slug turtle's going to have a hell of a time.
It can't. Yeah.
Well, I
It
guess.
tries to go
What is
back,
this
but
thing
it gets
called? Is
stuck.
it called a sluttle or a slurtle or what do you call
A tug. Or maybe it slips out of its shell, goes into the soil, comes back after doing what it needs to do, and comes back into its shell.
Oh, maybe it just leaves
Okay,
a
yeah.
shell.
It would be like Franklin, but an abomination.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Is there something that we could like mesh with a monkey, or that silverback gorillas, or some kind of like something we can combine with that?
With a monkey.
Mm-hmm.
Go well.
I mean, a monkey's already a pretty exotic pet, but
Right.
maybe something really domestic.
Like,
Wiener monkey.
yeah.
Like a
Just
long
looks like a big,
monkey with
just like a
shorter legs.
Or
You know,
like a chicken head,
a dash on what?
like a monkey body with a chicken head.
Did you already have your idea and you're
No, I just thought of that as you were talking about that,
Okay.
about your dachshund monkey.
yeah.
I mean, can we keep these a little plausible?
Yeah.
I mean, a chicken head.
Sorry, I'll think back to the
A chicken
the
monkey
small
would lay
freshwater
an egg.
slash nothing.
A chicken monkey would lay an egg and then it would fling its egg at you.
Yeah, you could catch it, with a frying pan.
Well,
It'd
you
be
call
like
it a chunky.
a chunky.
A chunky. A
Right?
chicken monkey.
Yeah, chicken monkey. Chunky.
A munkin.
As long as it.
That's not bad. What about, I like sheepdogs, but I don't like all the hair all the time.
Yeah.
So if you could have like
A bald
maybe
sheepdog.
like those bald cats,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
naturally bald.
This would be the ugliest thing ever.
It would be like a licorice.
yeah.
It would be real skinny and wrinkly, but maybe if it just still had the bangs.
yeah.
I don't know. I got to work on that idea.
miniatures of big animals would be great. Like if you could get a miniature giraffe.
Actually,
Just a
I'd like to
little one.
see a massive hamster.
Yeah.
You know, like you come home and it's a beanbag chair, basically.
Yeah.
It goes on its wheel and it could power your
Its
house
wheel
for a
powers
while.
your house and
Right.
it rattles the house. It's so
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
It's just this big, fat, 500-pound hamster.
You can put like 2 bags of dog food in its cheeks.
Jeez.
Be like 4 roast turkeys.
Dear.
Oh, I like it. I don't know if there's any scientists out there that can make that happen, but if you could make that massive hamster, that'd be really awesome.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That'd be amazing.
Someone to take care of your pork while you're gone, too.
Well, I think those are some terrifying new ideas.
Yes, this has been fun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think we've pretty much reached the end of our episode.
Yep.
So
Many ways to improve pets.
exciting times. We all love animals.
Yep.
Don't
Yes.
get us wrong. Anything
Yes.
that sounded a little offside.
Yep.
We love animals,
We do.
and we just wanted to share some of these ideas with you today.
I think if you haven't already adopted a pet or thought about owning a pet, that maybe we've pitched some ideas here that would entice you or make your life easier.
Yeah, so let us know what you thought of the episode. If you have any ideas that we haven't covered, give us a little tweet. Send it out to @PitchGuys.
You bet.
And keep on subscribing and sharing and rating.
And we'll see you next time.